Hi everybody, welcome to the Human Exchange, or THX for short, a platform where I want to discuss all things performance, purpose and potential in both our professional and personal lives. Today at THX, we're doing things a little bit different. What stays the same is you are our beloved audience, but now I am both host and guest for today's episode. Before we get into what I want to speak to you about, I think it's worthwhile to do something that is perhaps long overdue, and that is to tell you what THX is all about and the reason I created it. I created THX to acknowledge and celebrate all the things that make us human. We're living in a world where we are rushing towards a future that is powered by AI and automation. Yet, there is still a part of us that wants to cling on to all these things that make us human. Our vulnerabilities, our frailties, where it may seem like it is actually counterintuitive or even counterproductive to the progress that we so desire. But I'm here to tell you that these things that make us human, they are not in the way of progress, but they are the essence of our potential. The wounds that we bear turn into scars, and scars are medals of our human achievement, where we overcome setback, discouragement, disappointment, crises, loss to display adaptability, perseverance, and resilience. Seeds, when they are planted in the ground, are surrounded by darkness, but that dirt does not hamper their growth. It in fact helps them. And that is our purpose, to continuously grow and develop. When we have that clarity of who we are and what we are made of, we can have the kind of performance that burns bright and not burn out. For many years, I was leading from the front, firing on all cylinders all the time, relentless in pursuit of the next target, the next goal, the next achievement. And it left me quite empty, if I were to be honest. I was dictated or pushed by a lot of expectations that was placed on me, as well as expectations that were placed on myself. I was achieving more, but I was feeling less. And it all came to a breaking point. Pressing the pause button wasn't enough for me. I had to do a hard reset. That is why I switched careers. I had to walk away from everything that I knew and everything that I was. But it was during that time that I found my own voice again. And in the silence, I learned performance is not about proving, but about presence. Today, I choose to lead and live differently. I speak less to be heard and more to listen. I choose focus over frenzy, and I've come to realize that high performance should serve your purpose and not sabotage your peace. I used to think high performance was all about speed, output, achievement. But over the years, I discovered I was carrying a version of high performance that was quietly breaking me. Here are 3 signs that your high performance is unhealthy and potentially toxic. Number 1, you feel guilty when you rest. Rest is not a reward. It is a requirement. It is something that should be intentionally built into our rhythm. If you find yourself constantly anxious during your downtime, checking your phone, going through your emails, having this sense of dread as if you are falling behind, it could be a sign that your identity is too tightly close to busyness. And busyness does not always equal productivity. It could be an addiction to movement without meaning. If you find yourself in a place where you cannot stop, you are not chasing excellence, you're actually setting yourself up for exhaustion. Number 2, your worth is tied to output. If you only ever feel as good as your last achievement or crave external validation and approval, burnout isn't a risk, it is inevitable. You are setting yourself up to be something that you are not, which is a machine chasing metrics rather than a person pursuing meaning. Number 3, you succeed but feel numb. You have checked all the boxes, won many accolades, you might have even exceeded everyone's expectations, but inside, you feel numb, empty. When success stops bringing satisfaction, it's now time to ask yourself, have I been spending too much time and energy climbing the wrong mountain or fighting the wrong battles? I know these signs well because I live them, and going through a process of unlearning them was a first step to define or redefine what high performance really is. To lead differently, we have to live differently. These are the shifts that changed my trajectory. Firstly, from hustle to harmony. Hustle glorifies burnout. Harmony prioritizes rhythm, knowing when to speed up, when to slow down, and when to be still. Great leaders don't just go hard, they go wisely, knowing how to align their energy with purpose instead of reacting to all the noise that's around them. Secondly, from goals to groundedness. Goals matter, but without groundedness, they can be a double-edged sword. Instead of helping us, it ends up harming us. Being grounded means we have a clear idea of who we are, what we value, and why we do what we do. This will stop us from pursuing things that damages our core self. Chase that which moves you, but find things that ground you. Thirdly, from pressure to presence. Pressure tells you to perform, but presence invites you to connect. When you show up with presence in a meeting, in a catch-up session, in a casual conversation, at work, at home, people don't just see what you do, they're able to feel who you are. And that builds greater trust and influence. You no longer have to drive things around you to happen, but you are creating flow for things to occur in a more organic way. Transformation should not just be poetic, it needs to be really practical. If you want to sustain high performance, here are 3 ways that helped me. Number 1, anchor in purpose, not productivity. Purpose transcends wins and losses. It keeps us centered during seasons of change and setbacks, reminds us that who we are becoming is more important than what we are producing. Productivity is all about pace, but purpose is about direction. Performance should not just be measurable, it has to be meaningful. Number 2, build feedback and reflection into your rhythm. High performers often go very hard and very fast, sometimes too hard and too fast to learn. But sustained growth comes from slowing down and asking ourselves, what is working for me? What's working for those around me? What is not working for me? What is not working for those around me? Are there things that I need to change? Are there things that I need to adapt? Do I like this version of myself that I'm becoming in pursuit of my goals and performance and targets and all the things that are driving me forward? Number 3, lead at work, but love at home. Don't bring the leftovers and scraps of your energy to the people who matter the most. The real test of leadership isn't just what happens in the workplace, but whether the people at home, those close to you, still feel valued, loved, and seen. High performance should never come at the cost of the relationships that matter to you. Your legacy is not going to be defined by how many targets you hit or KPIs you achieve, but rather whether those who you love are still around when you don't have much to offer, and they can give you the support and courage to start again if you ever need to. Whatever that I'm sharing with you today, I've learned it the hard way. Even though I switched careers, my environment changed, but my behaviors did not. I was still addicted to a certain drivenness and ambition, high performance, which I thought was valuable and valid. But I realized that if I did not put clear and intentional interventions into how I live my life, I could very much end up in the same place where I did not want to go, hence my original change. That is why I created the Human Exchange, because it's not about perfection, but progress. We're all on a journey, I'm on a journey, and it is my desire and intention that through the conversations that we will have and continue to have on this platform will help in both my growth as well as yours. And if you have in any way benefited from this platform and the conversations and content that we've been having, I invite you to like, subscribe to the YouTube and Spotify channel if you have not already, but also take the next step to commit yourself to this community or to join this community of growth by going to our Substack, thehumanexchange.substack.com, where I will post more in-depth reflections, learnings, and handles. Once again, thank you so much for joining us on THX or the Human Exchange today. I'll see you in the next episode.